stars, planets, whatever you would like to call them, in full alignment in Taurus right now. And it's 1 o'clock time. We're going to have a fine time. But what does that kind of mean? So, hi everyone. We'll just kind of, I'm just talking for a bit so I can make sure the audio and everything is fine. It kicks in about 20 seconds. Why have you not started? Um, why is it not started? Okay, there we go. Let's just check the audio, make sure it's fine. Yeah, wonderful. Okay, so mini confirmation, but hi everyone, welcome. So, as I said, anyway, pause that because it's fine. The audio is working fine. Welcome, everybody. This is our sky, our story. Now, it is showing up backwards on the screen because I kind of wanted to just show up with my face today instead of like behind the camera. But don't pay too much attention to the writing because we're focusing more on the symbols, okay, the symbology. So it's all right. It's all right. But there are how many luminaries? 5 luminaries in Taurus right now. If you have been used to mainstream astrology, you would have thought that it was in Gemini. There is a name for this, but I do not know what it's called. This rare planetary alignment that mainstream tropical Western astrology talks about. But I don't know the full name. I came across it and I forgot. However, if you do follow mainstream astrology, you would have known that a lot of planets, stars, whatever you call them, are in Gemini, but they're actually not in Gemini. They are in where? Taurus. And I'm going to share why it makes a lot of sense for it to be in Taurus right now, and the fact that all of these luminaries being in Taurus is showing quite an interesting story. And I feel it's coming with major change. That's basically what I'm feeling. So I'm not going to gas you. I'm going to show you proof that these luminaries, especially the sun, where are we? We are in June. So you would automatically think that the sun is in Gemini if you follow mainstream tropical Western astrology, but it's not. It is not. So I'm not gassing you. I will show you. I've pre-done this. So I'm going to show you on my laptop some photos. It may show up backwards again, but like I said, you just need to get the gist of it. Oh, is that even really showing? It's not even showing properly, but that's Venus. This is Venus, and right now it's literally on top of the sun. So we can't see it, and you can see this is the Taurus. Oh, confirmation drop, something just fell. But this is the Taurus. Don't judge all the tabs open. This is the Taurus constellation, and you've got Venus right there. It does say Venus if the camera is picking it up properly, but you can see the date, Sunday, June the 9th, and it's just nighttime. I just changed it to nighttime so we could see, because you wouldn't be able to see the stars in the day. So that is Venus, and she is there. Don't believe me, I am showing you these pictures because I can't show it on my phone or whatever. I can't put it on the screen because it's live, and I've not figured out that technology yet. I think if I recorded it on my laptop I could have shown you, like, but anyway, long story. But don't just believe me, check for yourself, get the app yourself. We're going to go across to show the other one. This is Mercury, because like I said, we've got all of these luminaries in there. We've got the sun, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, as well as Uranus, all in the star constellation of Taurus. So I'm just showing the receipts. um this is Mercury. It is showing backwards, but just bear with me. This Mercury, you can see, is in the star constellation of Taurus as well. This one is Jupiter. Oh, it's really, you cannot see in the name, but Jupiter, again, it's sat in the star constellation of Taurus. You can see it a bit clearer here. It's sat in Taurus right now, as well as the sun, of course, the biggest symbol, the biggest light. The sun is in Taurus, like I says. We are, what's the date today? The 2nd of June. No, it's not. God, the 9th or something like that. I can't remember the actual date, but you would automatically think it's Gemini season, but it's not. The sun enters Gemini when, I'll show you my calendar, which is available as well, people. But the sun enters Gemini. Oh, can you see on the 21st? So on the 21st, the sun enters the Gemini star constellation. So right now, as I'm showing you, it is still literally in Taurus. Okay, it's still Taurus season. Um, so the sun is there, and then we've got Uranus, which is the last one. It's not very clear, but again, Uranus, you can see it's not long entered Taurus. It's in the same place as Jupiter, pretty much. Um, so yeah, but check for yourself, people. That is the Stellarium app. That's the app I use the most, though I do have some others, but that's the Stellarium app. I do always say, don't believe me that these star constellations or these luminary stars are in these constellations. Check and see for yourself. So I just wanted to show you where they actually are. Now I want to get into what this means. Now I want to get into what this means. So, and why I feel it's actually quite important or quite a major shift in our reality. So, of course, we've got the 5 luminaries, and they are all in Taurus. They are all in Taurus. Now, if you have um been listening to any of my videos before, especially when I talk about Taurus, the Taurian, Taurus is the toroidal field. Okay, so again, in like mainstream astrology, my sun technically would have been in Taurus because my born day is the 7th of May. Why am I saying the first? It's the 7th of May. Um, so technically, I would have been a Taurus coming down to mainstream tropical astrology, but according to the actual sky, I was born when the sun was in Aries, so that's interesting. But Taurus, anyway, I've always said Taurus is the toroidal field. So it literally goes like this. Okay, it's the toroidal field. Now, in my calendar as well, we have the body to zodiac correlation. So I just have to show you that too. It's over here. It is backwards again, but it says body, and we've got Taurus here. Okay, so it's all in the calendar. You can learn it, because if you don't know, all of the zodiac constellations is connected to a body part. And this is why I also say I see this as technology, highly advanced technology that we're still kind of, say, learning, comprehending, or beginning to get to know about it. But it's the technology of our hologram, basically. um so the way it works, we are fractalized as light and then densified into matter. This fractalization of light fractalizes into different zodiac areas depending on the time you've entered this world. um, and because of that, it impacts us in a certain way, because this fractalization has different elements in it, and that's how it can impact our choices and things of that nature. So Taurus is connected to the, I can't pronounce it properly, the cerebellum. Is connected to the cerebellum, which is basically a part in your brain, right at the back of your brain. So you can imagine it's from there that emits the whole toroidal field. Okay, let's just take a little sip of wine because it's 1 o'clock time. Mm. But we're in, Taurus represents the toroidal field, and it comes from the cerebellum, and that's how it emits out. The toroidal field is our aura, basically. It's our magnetism, it's part of it, and this allows experience to be drawn to us. So this is why I see as important. All of this planetary alignment being in Taurus is impacting our toroidal field, which will impact the experiences that are drawn to us, which we attract and live out in our life. Okay, so what are we attracting? We're going to go through all of these 5 luminaries to see what we're actually attracting into our toroidal field. Now, because it is the toroidal field, Taurus covers the second house, which covers money and love, that is a major part. However, because Taurus is fueled by Venus, as well as it is the toroidal field, what attracts experiences to you, it's all about the material reality. It's literally all about the material reality, and what you find valuable, which makes you want to interact with it, what is drawn to you when it comes to the material. Okay, so that is basically Taurus. I'm gonna just put my hair to this side so it's not in the way of the beautiful sun. So um yeah. So basically, this whole big planetary alignment that's happening right now is impacting what you are attracting to you. It's impacting your new toroidal field, which will essentially set off the next decade plus of what you experience. Okay, so is more of a major one, especially we'll bring it in. I will bring it in, but especially because Pluto, shall write here, is in Capricorn. Okay, so we're going to link that together on why that's important, because our base energy, and this is like the longest moving luminary, Pluto, our base energy is about transforming, because Pluto is about death and transformation. So it's about transforming our stability, foundations towards our long term goals. It's about transforming that, whether that's getting rid of old foundations, bringing in new foundations, and truly creating that stability for the long term goal. So, of course, this is collectively, that's why a whole heap of noise has been happening on the world stage. Things are crumbling, the education system, the health system, celebrities, things like that. It's crumbling because we're changing this foundation that we are on, we are transforming through it. Now, within this transformation, which is happening up until 2038 to 2040, so for quite a long time, this is kind of like a key signature of what's going on. Okay, so in this ultimately transformation of our new foundations and stability towards our long-term goal, it's beginning to activate now. That's kind of like what I am seeing. Okay, it's beginning to activate through all of these luminaries being in full alignment within the Taurus constellation. So that means it's basically a conjunction. Like I says, this whole thing has a term that mainstream astrologers are saying, but I've forgotten what it was. I have no idea. But what I do see is that it is in alignment, like what I shown the pictures on my laptop. They are all literally in Taurus, so it's basically a conjunction. And apparently it's very rare. Yeah, it's rare, it don't happen so often. So this, as well as with Pluto being in Capricorn, I'm feeling it's adding to a major shift that is en route, basically. So our toroidal field, this Taurus energy, what we are attracting, is being impacted. Like it's in full alignment. These luminaries are in full alignment with what we are getting ready to attract. So the first one being the sun, that which is our ego. So our ego, the sun basically represents our ego. It's the lens which you operate through, is how you see your reality. Okay, how you perceive your reality, it's all through the ego. Many times we're told, quiet the ego, ignore the ego, but the ego is a necessary part of our existence. It's the only part of the technology which allows us to fully interact with our hologram. So it is necessary. And it runs on autopilot. So just live your life, But anyway, the sun, the ego, how you naturally shine, is sat in Taurus. It's sat in entering this new toroidal field vibe. And of course, because Taurus does represent the material reality, it is about experiences in the material reality. And we'll get into that, especially when we jump into Jupiter. But it's what you find valuable, what you want to interact with, okay? And because you find it valuable, naturally, like a toroidal field, things will begin to attract into your reality. So the sun, your ego, is perceiving reality right now of one, attracting this new thing. I've just saw my knee on the camera. It looks kind of weird. Let me just move it. So, um, yeah, our ego is perceiving things ultimately of one, wanting to attract something new into our toroidal field. We want to experience new experiences and things of that nature. So if you've naturally been feeling that and seeing your reality in that way, and how would this look? Oh, I need to bend my legs. Sorry if it don't look the best on the camera, but how this would look in real life, you probably analyze your situation, realize what you like, what you don't like, what you would like to change, the new things you'd like to experience, and things of that nature. You're seeing reality, your ego is perceiving reality through that lens of what do I want to experience with my six senses: sight, taste, touch, hearing, smell, as well as your intuition. All of your six senses, um and it's kind of wanting to do that. Just need to put my laptop on charge, take it out of my phone and put it on charge. There we go, laptop's charging. But that's how our ego is perceiving reality, as well as our ego seeing reality through that lens of literally attracting these new experiences to you, wanting to delve into your senses and fully experience reality. Mercury, your way of thinking, and energy exchange is also in Taurus. So Mercury, the umbrella term or description, is basically how you exchange your energy. That is all Mercury is about: energy exchange. This energy exchange comes in the form of thoughts, what you're thinking, communication, who you talk to, even how your body communicates with each other, with itself, sorry, not each other. If your body is in any form of dis-ease or discomfort, it will send communications and things of that nature. That's your Mercury technology. And a big part is also monetary exchange as well. So it's exchanging money. How are you giving your energy, basically? That's all Mercury. Mercury being the god Hermes, the winged god, and it's a messenger. So it's sending these messages through communications, thoughts, and how you exchange your energy ultimately. So the way you're thinking and how you're communicating is in alignment with your ego and how you are perceiving reality right now. It's in full alignment. So, how your ego just wants to naturally shine, trust the thoughts that come into your head. Trust what is coming up and ask the question: what's coming up for you? What thoughts are you feeling? What are you thinking? Because that is Mercury. When you are communicating, who are you communicating with? When you're communicating, what are you saying? And things of that nature. Because again, it's all Mercury. And just bringing it back to self reflection, and I do urge you all to have this self reflection. And I'm just going to get something. So, like, basically, um, I do have something which I keep saying it will be available soon, but in order, I'm still trying to figure out Amazon, but in order to write down things, is again, it's backwards, but there's a whole diary. It's literally so fat because there's a page for every day, but it's about writing down what you're experiencing when these transits happen, and it will be available soon because obviously this starts from April and finishes in March. The year's already started technically, so when I figure it out, there will be a discount. But yeah. So ultimately, I've lost my train of thought. Ultimately, what you're thinking anyway, how you're communicating and how you're exchanging your energy right now is impacting everything that's coming into this toroidal field. Okay. We're also getting Venus in Taurus as well. Now, Venus is the fueler of Taurus. Okay, Venus fuels Taurus, and ultimately Venus is about your material values. It's what you find valuable in your material reality, which makes you want to use your six senses, as I say, to interact with that said thing in your reality. So what you find valuable is in full alignment with how you're exchanging your energy. That's your thoughts, communication, monetary exchange, and things of that nature. It's all in alignment with how what you find valuable in your material reality right now within this toroidal field. And of course, our ego is perceiving reality through the Taurus energy, which is about the material reality. So your what you find valuable, your thoughts and your ego is all in alignment with what you are ready to attract, because this is the toroidal field, and then you interact with that in the material reality. That's why Taurus is about the material, because you attract it. Like I said, from my calendar, it's on there. It's the cerebellum. Where are we? Here we go. It's the cerebellum, which is the part in the back of your brain, which emits your toroidal field, basically. So, as well as Venus. Now, this is the part the Sun, Mercury, and Venus move super quick. When I say super quick, they move the quickest. Sip of wine time. But they move quick and they will be out of there soon. They're not going to stay long. Like I says, Gemini, oh, the Sun is getting ready to move into Gemini on the 21st of June. So they're not going to be in there long. When's Venus moving? Yeah, as well. Venus as well as Mercury are all moving on the 17th. So they have been in here since the end of May. So this is a period of time, and it's basically going to go up till the 22nd of June. Okay, this major thing. However, these two are going to linger from what has been emitted from these three. So this is why it's also important, like what I'm seeing. So the way our ego is perceiving reality, the way we choose to exchange our energy with what we find valuable in our material reality is going to kickstart what Jupiter and Uranus is getting ready to do. Jupiter and Uranus are slower moving luminaries. Now, Uranus is going to retrograde. Uranus is going to retrograde and like slightly slip back into Aries, but Jupiter will stay in Taurus. So in September, Uranus stations retrograde, and it does that on the 1st. Uranus stations retrograde on the 1st in Taurus. Okay, so that is going to happen. It's going to dip back into Aries for a moment. When is it going to do that? Uranus, Uranus, Uranus. Why did they pick that name for Uranus? Like, really? Really? When is it going to? Yeah, here we go. So in December 2024, Uranus retrogrades back into Aries on the 29th. So forgive me, it is showing backwards, but yeah, it's here as well. So you've got Uranus retrograde enters Aries. So, oh, excuse me. I need to cough. Gosh, when I'm not on live and I just do videos, I can quickly pause it and then just do my cough or whatever. But when I'm on live, you just have to bear with me. And again, in January, Uranus stations direct. Can you see? Stations direct, and eventually it just enters back into Taurus. Exactly when? Is it? Yeah. So March, this calendar goes up to March 2025, people. So in March, again, Uranus enters back into Taurus. So it's like Uranus is doing its little activation. but it will amplify, of course, in 2025. However, before we get to that point, though, Jupiter is staying in Taurus, and I know this looks backwards, so let me draw it the opposite way. Oh, I've done it so wrong. Do it like this. Yeah, so now that looks the right way on the camera. But Jupiter is staying there in Taurus. So what is this telling me with Jupiter? Jupiter is the luminary, planet, star, whatever you like to call, of expansion. Jupiter is not biased. It doesn't give a flying fuck, basically. It's just going to expand. Confirmation burp. Basically, a lot of astrologers, people into astrology, often say, like, Jupiter is the planet star of luck and it brings luck and things of that nature. But all Jupiter does is expand. That's all Jupiter cares about. It doesn't really, like, you can spiral in a downward spiral because Jupiter's just expanding, or you could spiral in an upward spiral because Jupiter is expanding. So whether that's a negative habit or a positive habit, Jupiter will just expand. That's all it does. It's not really the star of luck. My wrist is hurting, forgive me, but it's not the planet of luck, essentially. It's just going to expand no matter where you are. So with how you're perceiving reality right now, since pretty much the end of May up until the middle of June, how you will be perceiving reality, how your ego is looking for reality, the way you're also exchanging your energy, what you find valuable in your reality, which makes you want to interact with it. So you exchange your energy with it. Jupiter is then going to expand that. That's all it's going to do. So this is why I'd say it's definitely important to know what you really want to attract into your toroidal field, this Taurus energy. What do you want to attract? You know? Because Jupiter's getting ready to expand it. So this could be in many ways. Like I says, Taurus, the umbrella term, it covers the material realities, all of your experiences ultimately. And there is a big one, of course, with Taurus when it comes for money and love as well. And Jupiter is getting ready to expand in that area. It's getting ready to expand in whatever you are attracting into your toroidal field, so you can begin to experience it in your physical reality. And how would this look like in life? This could be more life experiences, it could be more travel, it could be tasting new foods, it could be just experiencing so much more things. But Jupiter is getting ready to expand it. So this recognition of what's truly valuable to you, what comes up for you, Jupiter is going to expand on that. And because Jupiter, as well as Uranus, is a slower moving luminary, it's like it's taking the spark from how you've communicated, how you've perceived your reality, and what you find valuable. It will take that spark and expand it just naturally. And even when the Sun, Mercury, and Venus move and transit, like at the end of June, basically, Jupiter and Uranus are going to continue to work on this Taurus energy to attract new experiences to you. Okay, so that's Jupiter is going to expand this new attraction and this new energy that is coming to you. We've then got Uranus. Now, Uranus, like I says, is gonna do a little dance. However, even though it's in Taurus, it's basically just on a cusp. So even when it does retrograde, it's still going to be on the cusp of Aries and Taurus. That's all it's basically doing, because it's a slower moving luminary. But so because we're getting this retrograde date, it's just fascinating. But let's get into Uranus before we talk about the retrograde. So Uranus is known as the father of electricity, and this father of electricity wants to um I won't say wants to, it can bring about sudden change in your life. So this sudden change, like Uranus isn't the most easiest luminary to work with, along with Pluto. Along with Pluto, it's not the easiest luminary to work with. Reason being is because this sudden change that it can bring about can cause destruction to wipe out what's not necessary in order for the new to come in. So initially that change isn't, or and say is it may not be the best or most comfortablest feeling. However, it's done because it's ready to bring the new into your life. It's linked to plutonium on the periodic table, and I'm more than sure that that's 94, which is plutonium. So there's Pluto qualities in there of this death and rebirth. So Uranus basically operating in this Taurus energy can bring about that sudden change. It can bring about the change you've probably been waiting for, even if it can be a bit disruptive at the beginning, but ultimately it's ready to bring about this change. So this sudden change that can activate and get rid of what isn't necessary in order to welcome in the new will be expanded also by Jupiter based on your values, what you find valuable in the material reality. So you want to interact with it. This is why you've exchanged your energy with it. And of course, you're perceiving reality through that lens of what you want to attract to your new toroidal field, and truly use your senses to experience that. So as I said, even though Venus, Mercury and the Sun will move the end of June, this spark that this creates off, how you're literally seeing your reality right now, how you're exchanging your energy based on this, because this is what you find valuable. That spark that happens through the Sun, Mercury, and Venus, Jupiter will continue to expand that once that has been made clear. So this is why in some of my videos, like my past two videos, I think I was like, June is coming or seems to be coming with change, because we're attracting things into our toroidal field. Now, because these are slower moving luminaries, though the change may be maybe something small or just something a bit noticeable. Oh, I moved the tripod. Confirmation burp, mini confirmation burp. It's going to take its time to obviously work on this energies of truly amplifying it by expanding your physical experience. And of course, sudden change will come in, whether that's from the expansion of Jupiter, or the sudden change comes in and then Jupiter expands whatever has changed. So it could be different for people, for anyone. Maybe will, depending on your own signs, that will be like a different story. I do give birth chart readings, by the way, if anyone's interested in that. However, it's not necessary. I can go into depth and detail, but just download the app. Download the app and get it for yourself, like see for yourself where your placements are, um, because that will kind of show you more like what's going on for you again in this whole diary, which needs to come out soon. I'm really trying to work on it, but you've got a space here where you can write down all of your placements. As you can see, you can write it all down, so you've got it there and you can refer to it. So when these transits are happening, you can look back and see, you can make it a bit more personal, you know. And of course, even without the diary is just so you can write what's happened when transits happened. You've got it all there. It's all fully listed, but you can do that anyway, of course. In the diary, we do have just everything going on, the body and all of that too. And you can just so much writing space. You have the transits, what's happening on that day. But like I said, get the app. Why did it just say I'm live? I know that I'm live. You can get the app and find for yourself. But anyway, that's kind of what I am seeing. we are generally attracting a new toroidal field right now. We're attracting new experiences coming to us. Uranus being in there is getting ready to create that sudden change. Now, Uranus is going to retrograde. So, what does that mean? Within this sudden change, if it happens for you or doesn't, um, or whether you're working on certain things to activate, remember Uranus, it retrogrades, tips back into Aries, and then it enters back into where was it? Taurus? Is it March? Yeah. It enters back into Taurus on the 3rd of March 2025. So I'll just have to say that will be like your own individual thing. Some sudden changes could happen to people when it's in Taurus right now. For others, it may wait until it's retrograded, and then when it enters back in, it could start that then. However, the retrograde of this thing, when it slightly goes back on the cusp of Aries, it's basically still working out how you're going to show up first house. What is it you are going to be known about? Literally, when, where can I put it? Uranus goes back into Aries. It's going to be what you're working on first house, what people know you as. And I find it interesting how like life, the holograms works, because it's kind of like this is what you've presented yourself as doing, because the first house, Aries, is all about the first house, whether that's appearance, just what people know what you're doing and things of that nature. um and ultimately it's clarifying that. So when it retrogrades, it's like, okay, this sudden change, what you're getting ready to do to bring you closer to what you're ready to experience, we need to know how you're going to show at first house, what people know, what you are, who you're about, what you're doing. And then when that is so clear, so prominent, so like sure, it then goes back into Taurus 2025, March 2025, and that will then begin to amplify even more in your toroidal field. In 2025, Jupiter is still going to be in Taurus until it transits. When is it transiting? I don't actually know. I'm not that far ahead. I'm not that far ahead, but the beginning of 2025, Jupiter's still going to be in Taurus anyway. So this whole amplification, this whole amplification. So the thing I'm going to say is, though I'm like change is coming, it's still going to be different to every person, every individual. It could literally be crumbs, and I'll say crumbs, but clear signs, clear like little steps that's happening. And then when 2025 comes, it's just like fully amplified. um if Uranus decides to activate then. But like I says, it's still on the cusp. So even though it transits a little bit back into Aries, it's still on the cusp, picking up the cusp of both energies. So it could happen pretty much at any time. But ultimately, that's what I'm seeing. What have you lot been thinking? What have your thoughts been? Like me, I've been thinking just a lot, just going back to Mercury, because Mercury is all about your thoughts. And bear in mind, whatever you are thinking right now is in full alignment with your ego, how you're perceiving reality, what you find valuable, so you want to interact with it. It's in full alignment. Jupiter is getting ready to expand these things that you're thinking of. With Mercury is getting ready to expand that, and Uranus is getting ready to bring in and activate that sudden change, so you can truly, within your toroidal field, experience and attract the things that are simply in your mind. And this is why I feel it's just so important to just look at the sky. Like I says, many people would say this transit, this alignment is happening in Gemini, but it's not. The same reason why Pluto being in Capricorn, you can see things in the world changing around us. It's because we're changing our foundation. And as we are changing our foundation, we need to collectively attract new experiences to our toroidal field as our whole hologram, not just individual lives, though it will be your individual life as well, but our whole hologram. We are getting ready to attract new experiences to us, which will be a part of this new foundation and stability for a longer term goal as Pluto is transforming this collectively. Okay, so this is why I just look at the sky. Like, look at the sky and see for yourself. I've shown you the receipts. I've shown you not only on the internet, in my calendar as well, when things are happening. Don't believe me, check for yourself. Google it, grab a calendar, get an app, one of the three, and see for yourself. Because in order for us to be in this new foundation, this new stability, our whole existence needs to attract new things. This is why this luminary planetary star alignment is happening in Taurus, the toroidal field, because we are attracting new things to experience in the material reality. Okay, it's not Gemini like mainstream astrology would be saying. It's really not. That's all about just energy exchange ultimately. And we're not at that part yet. It's about new experiences being attracted into our reality. And like I says, these three are sparking up this expansion that is ready to happen in your material reality, and this sudden change. And like I says, whether this sudden change happens um in your reality in order for the expansion to come, or for some people you may expand and then sudden change happens. So it's going to be different for every person, but ultimately all of them are in full alignment with each other, and it's all about what we are going to attract into our new reality. Like I said, with Mercury and myself personally, I've just been thinking more of what I would like generally what I'd like, how I'd like to just live life, who I'd like to be with, what I'd like, things like that. Like, I didn't want to give so much attention to someone who's just not really going to be in my life. Like, what's the point? So things like that, as well as like business and just whole life, I really like a new home, things of that nature. A lot of that has been coming up a lot for me, just as thoughts, what I've been thinking in my head. Because why? Naturally, I'm getting ready to attract this new toroidal field. I'm getting ready to attract these new experiences. So I am going to say, pay attention to your thoughts. Like I says, I would really love for this diary to be out so you can write in the diary, but until we get to that point, just note your thoughts down until it's available. Note your thoughts down. Write what transits has happened, I guess, and then eventually this will be available as soon as, so you can, it's all there for you basically. But pay attention to your thoughts. I'm gonna say that's a major one, because whatever you're thinking, you're gonna realize what is truly valuable to you, so you want to interact with it. And of course your ego is gonna be seeing things through that lens anyway. So pay attention to your thoughts, what is coming up for you, because whatever is coming up for you, and as well as your thoughts, how you're choosing to exchange your energy, how you're communicating. And this is one as well. Like, this is just a practical example I'm going to give. Me doing this live right now is my Mercury technology. Okay, it's my Mercury technology on how I am exchanging my energy, even just talking about the toroidal field. So me simply just sharing this is kind of like, for those who resonate with it, for those who come across it, they are seeing like, oh gosh, they're becoming aware. You're becoming aware, viewing this, of this new toroidal field and what we're attracting. So again, it's like, as Mercury is in Taurus right now, me doing this live is my Mercury technology, and simply just speaking about it. So that's just a practical example, but even just who I've spoke about with family and stuff, just saying, this is what I'd like. I just really see us here in this home. I see us doing this. I'd like to do this, and things of that nature. That's all Mercury. And these thoughts aren't coming for no reason. Have you read this book? I'm going to show you this, people. Have you read this book? Again, it's showing up backwards, but it's called Book of Wisdom. Um, and basically it's so much stuff in here. It's so cool. I'm kind of, is a lot of symbols, symbology. I found him on TikTok, but basically I've not read it all through, and I kind of want to do like a series kind of breaking this down, because it goes into like Bible verses and stuff, and I think it's so cool. But I just want to show you this one picture to kind of explain more of this Mercury energy. So as you can see there, there's a lot of writing, but I'll summarize that. As you can see, there are different planes of existence. So you've got the mental, then you've got the higher, middle, and lower astral planes. You've then got the etheric, and then the physical. Now, in the mental, that is the mind. So forgive me, it's backwards, but it says mental. That is the mind. That is where all that is consciousness. It's where everything resides. It's our collective consciousness of the mind. We then through the thoughts that we choose or we dwell upon, so I say, it then dips down into either the higher, middle, or lower astral, depending on the vibrational thoughts and its frequency. It will reside in the higher, middle, or lower astral planes. And from one of those planes, it then goes to the etheric plane. So the etheric is the ether. Okay, the etheric is the ether, and the electromagnetism. The etheric is the bridge between the non-physical and the physical existence. Basically, it's all energy and it's things of that nature. And then from the etheric, these thoughts that literally appeared in the mind, the top one, it entered one of these planes. It then attached to the bridge of the ethereal, and it then becomes physical. So it's like, just going back, that was like a real side tangent. It's showing like ADHD qualities, because I do have that. But anyway, going back to Mercury and the mind and paying attention to your thoughts. We are powerful beings, and there are loads of thoughts just floating around there. And I don't know if you've heard of the term, your thoughts aren't your own. Because they're all in the mental, they're all in the mind, the collective consciousness, and we dwell upon the ones we want to bring down into the plane of existence, basically. Where's it gone? Yeah, into the physical. From the mind, from the mental, we bring it all the way down into the physical. So pay attention to your thoughts, what you are thinking. If it's a thought that isn't what you want to dwell upon, get rid of it. Just don't dwell upon it. Acknowledge it, let it float away, and focus on the thoughts that you want. But all of these thoughts coming up right now, that has been coming up and that will come up until the 17th of June. Let's just clarify so I'm not guessing. Yeah. So when it begins, Mercury and Venus begin to transit into Gemini the 17th of June. Just pay attention to your thoughts that come up, because ultimately these thoughts are going to begin to attract into your toroidal field, which is what Uranus will create: sudden change, electric change, and then amplify. And then, of course, Jupiter will just amplify that anyway. So pay attention to your thoughts. Like 100%. Yeah, and I'm just observing just my thoughts, just reflecting back what I'd like to do, literally what I find valuable, so I want to interact with it. And of course my ego is just seeing reality through that lens of this Taurus energy. Yeah, Taurus energy, like, it's getting just more personal. getting more personal, because Taurus does cover love and money. Let's just talk about love and money. So again, when it comes to your ego, how you're perceiving reality, when it comes to what you're thinking about and how you exchange your energy, whether that's your thoughts, who and how you communicate, what you find valuable, um, and sudden changes getting ready to happen, and expansion, all in the area of also love and money. So it's going to be different for everyone, of course. If you are with someone, you may have this deeper love connection. You may have a deeper or expansive experience when it comes to money. It could literally expand for you in any way, depending on what you're doing. And of course, if you aren't in a relationship like moi, like me, it's like this expansion could come through some form of love or connection as well. Confirmation burp. Oh gosh, who's Bay? Who is Bay? That's all I need to say. But yeah, so keep that in mind for sure. We're gonna take 2 sips now because why not? But ultimately, that is what I am seeing. Did you not want me to do tarot on this to pull what could come from it or not? Like, did you want me to? Let me know. I've got the cards here, but ultimately, that's kind of what I am seeing. What we are going to attract into our reality is going to change. It's going to change like it really is. So, and it's all going to be based on this new stable foundation. Okay, this new stable foundation that not only the collective, our own personal lives, it's happening for this new stable foundation. Jupiter is getting ready to expand your new toroidal field, what you attract, what you experience, which will be in alignment with the new foundation you're ready to set up. So, like, again, personally for me, I just got to a point, it's like, I don't want to exchange my energy, give my time to people. When I say people, men, um, that's just not going to be a part of my stable foundation, you know? Like, I'd happily have some more babies and things like that. So if you're kind of not on that vibe, or just kind of what I'm doing, just like, what's the point? Why entertain it? And I feel that was something I just had to kind of overcome, and say overcome, just realize and just get rid of. Because what's the point? I can be too nice. Unfortunately, I can be too nice. And even if I don't like someone in that way, I'd still just talk, you know? I won't be so flirtatious, but I'll still try and reply. Um, yeah, it's just like, ultimately, what's the point? What's the point? If you're not going to be in my new toroidal field, just go away. I don't want to attract more of those situations where you're just not it all, if you know what I mean. Like, you don't want it all. Babies, marriage, living off grid, creating magnificent things. Just like, literally, what's the point? So that's been a lot personally in my mind. Um, just as well as like my own little business, my content, my creations, and things of that nature. So we'll see if Jupiter expands that. It's gonna be an experiment. Like I said, all of this is just an experiment anyway. Um, but yeah, I'm just gonna urge you lot all. I am gonna pull some tarot, but while I'm just chatting, and as I says, while I'm chatting, the star fell out. So we're the motherfucking star. Okay, we're gonna keep that one. But we are. Can you see that? We're the star, so definitely trust yourself. Pay attention to everything that you think, who you communicate with, and how you exchange your energy, because a lot of it is going to be um it's going to impact your toroidal field. So even if, don't get me wrong, I'm not creating any fear of any sort to say, if you've interacted in this way, that's what you're experiencing. No, because we've still got certain things that we may have to exchange our energy if that's the case of cutting it off, locking it off. But there needs to be a certain level of energy exchange. But ultimately, it's knowing if you don't want a certain thing to continue, you get it out so you don't attract that. Pay attention to your thoughts. Like I said, just showing you this book, our thoughts are not our own. It's part of the whole collective consciousness. So if that's a thought you do not want to attract into your toroidal field at this point, and like I says, it's going to play an impact up until 2038 to 2040. Okay, all of this is going to play an impact for it. These three are sparking it. These two will continue it, and of course Pluto will still do what it's doing. So yes, just pay attention. Also, people, while I'm shuffling, there is a 10% discount. Like I said, the writing's backwards, but there is a 10% discount on the calendar if you would like it. So I do have multiple. There's 10% off if you say if a confirmation, but if you order the digital calendar, you can get the physical one for free. And the reason for this is because some people are like, what's going on? As long as you pay postage and packaging just for the calendar, you can get the physical one for free when you get the digital copy. And there's also a 10% off the digital copy, and then you can get this too with postage and packaging. Reason is because in these copies there was just a slight error with two of the, what are they called? Oh, I slipped my mind. What is it called? Solar eclipse. With two of the eclipses in the like the first physical copy, there was a minor little mistake, but the digital one is fully up to date. So if you do get the digital copy, including the 10% off of the digital, you can do that as well. Just pay for postage of this little beauty, and you can get it. The digital copy is fully up to date, but of course I've still got these calendars, and it's only like a little minor mistake, but you can have them if you would like. And of course this big ass diary will be available soon so you can write. You can write. But let's just do a tarot anyway. We already had the star for all of this energy. Oh, wait, I'm missing something. I always like to do the sound bowl. If I can bloody find it. Yes, I found it. What are the odds? Sticking my hand in a pile of clothes and it's there. So anyway, take a deep breath with me. And exhale. Okay, let's just pull a little bit of tarot to just clarify like what is coming in this. I need to shuffle like this. I'm still getting used to shuffling. But what is coming in this luminary alignment for the collective? Let's just get a clear message. We've got the star coming out. But what else? Can we clarify what's coming for the collective with this luminary alignment? I have to admit, there's nothing coming out. Says there's nothing coming out, and then something came out. We had the Six of Wands. It flipped out in reverse. So we did have Six of Wands. That's interesting. Are we not achieving anything? Or is it just the illusions we're not seeing? Because there's a bit of blind to the truth in the Six of Wands. So can you clarify that? We've got the star. Are we not seeing illusions? Where's my book? It should be there, hopefully. Hopefully. It's coming out. What's happening with this luminary alignment? and what we're attracting into our toroidal field. Fascinating, fascinating. So we have the devil, so we're not being deceived. Okay, but we do have the page of cups upside down in reverse. So fascinating. I'm sure that has something to do with love. So let's just get one more clarity of that. But we're not in illusions and things like that, which is good. Can we get this clarity of the page of cups in reverse? Because obviously I was talking about love, and I would like some love. I really would. I have done a video, you know, on Uranus entering Taurus, just like what I did for Jupiter entering Taurus. So make sure you go and watch that video. It's going to be a very similar thumbnail to what this thumbnail was, because I like to keep them the same. Make sure you check out the Jupiter one. I have done one for Uranus, but I've not uploaded it, of course, because Uranus is going to do a little dance, but I'm going to edit it tonight after this, and then hopefully upload it tomorrow. But definitely check that out. Oh, shit. Okay, we've got the King of Cups. Interesting, fascinating. Last clarity, please. This energy that's coming. Last clarity for the collective and what we are attracting into our new toroidal field. What's going on? I've been playing like card games with the children, and I've really been loving it. Uno and like this matching game. But gosh, that's like another thing what I've been thinking, just how to just be a better mom. Like I homeschool. If you don't know, I do homeschool my children because me not trust the government. Me not trust them. I do not trust the government one bit. So I do homeschool my children, and just a lot of thoughts about homeschooling, being a better mom and things like that have come up as well as just own physical health. Is nothing coming out to clarify this? Is that it, or is there any more message? But with my own physical health as well. Nah. If I could pull the camera. Nah. Okay, bottom of the deck was the Empress. It's showing up backwards, but that is the Empress. And what fell out was the Queen of Cups and the Magician. So not only do we have the Star, the Star, you are the Star, you are the Magician in what you are attracting into your new toroidal field. You are not going to be deceived with this. You are not in illusion. You're not being pushed over, and people aren't taking the piss, basically. There may be a little experience of not feeling accomplished at some point or getting tasks done. However, you're not in denial. You are seeing things clearly and things like that. I don't know what the Page of Cups in reverse or the King of Cups is, so we'll check it out. We will check it out, but ultimately the general energies, you're the Star, the Magician, and there's no illusions happening with what you are attracting into your toroidal field. So I do need to get my little book because I'm still a beginner and my legs gone numb. Let me just stretch over here, Soz. Where's my book? Got it. So this is what I am using. You know, my brother has made a whole new Queen of Cups, a whole card deck for me. He's made a whole card deck for me, and I can't wait to show it. I cannot wait to show it. It's not for sale or anything like that. It's just my own personal cards, and he's just done so amazing. He drew, it's not these, but he drew every single picture and everything with his hand. His amazing, lovely partner colored it in, and it's just beautiful. But anyway, let's get into it. I do want to go live more and just have little chats, but no one's kind of talking to me in the chat today. Any questions or anything, do let me know and we'll talk about it. I kind of just Though I love astrology and crypto, I do like to talk about other things. But anyway, let's take a look at the King of Cups, Queen of Cups, Page of Cups, and then the Wands first, okay? Because that's what's come up first. So we'll do the Wands and then the Cups because there's only one wand, just to get the official meaning. Confirmation burp. So, oh, they've all fallen, but it's fine. Six of Wands in reverse. So is victory, pride, taking it all in your stride. I love how that rhymes. Looking after number one, being too arrogant to admit the truth, superiority complex. So it's that truth aspect that is standing out to me because it's in reverse. So everything said is basically in reverse right now. So there may be a little bit of feeling of not feeling a bit victorious and stuff like that, but ultimately you're not in this superiority complex and you're not being stubborn to see what is really happening. You are seeing things clearly. That's what I'm seeing coming up with the Six of Wands in reverse. And of course, because we do have the Star and all of that, the Magician and the Devil in reverse, it's like illusions just ain't happening. You're not gonna be arrogant and things like that. But let's go to the cups, see what the cups are saying. Pentacles, cups. So we've got the Page, King, and Queen of Cups. Let me just show you so you can see. So we do have the Page in reverse, but we've got the Queen and King of Cups in the upright position. So the Page of Cups is romantic feelings, sensitivity, being offered love, a younger lover, flirtatious admirer, a trust in your intuition, being forgiving. So what I'm kind of seeing with this is it's in reverse. So I am seeing, especially with the Six of Wands in reverse as well, you're not going to be arrogant to what's clearly in front of you. What may come in. The reason why I want to talk more about love is because obviously Taurus, the toroidal field, is a lot about love. So ultimately, it's a lot about love. So it's like, but you're seeing something clearly. So I am gonna say, because it's in the season of love with Taurus, it's still Taurus season, be careful who comes in straight away. But you're gonna see something clearly. You're not gonna be too arrogant to admit it. But ultimately it's like you're seeing something clearly, okay, with the Page of Cups in reverse. I'm not saying love still won't come in. It still could, because we had our video, our last video, there was a lot about love, and even in June. So check out them videos if you would like. But we then have the King and Queen of Cups for this whole toroidal energy, Knight, King, and Queen. So basically the Queen of Cups is a tender-hearted, compassionate, feeling moved, unconditional love, knowing what it feels like to feel, willing to help the underdog. So, um, I'm I'm seeing that we'll be seeing more people. Whoever does kind of come in, you will definitely see them, but it's still seeing things clearly with this Six of Wands. And with the King of Cups, we've got stability, wisdom, diplomacy, keeping your head in a crisis, broad-minded, tolerant, accepting your limitations. So generosity as well. So stability and wisdom I'm seeing there, knowing what to do if a situation happens. Yeah, it's knowing what to do. And I'm gonna say this is quite interesting because, like I said, Uranus is in Taurus as well. Uranus is in Taurus, which can bring about sudden change. But if or when this sudden change happens, naturally you're going to be able to keep your head and ultimately keeping that stability and wisdom all there. whatever electric change decides to come into your life. And that's what I'm seeing. And this electric change that comes in, you're still going to be compassionate and things of that nature. Things of that nature. Be careful of the potential lover, though. Be careful of the lover. Obviously, we've then got at the bottom of the deck the Empress, and we've got three major arcanas, quite fascinating ones: the Star, the Magician, as well as the Devil in reverse. So it's four major arcanas there, with four minor arcanas. 448. 448. Please, I beg, go and watch my video of the 8th universal year. It came out at the end of last year, but of course it covers it up until technically the Chinese New Year in 2025. So we are in the 8th toroidal year, and we've literally just had 8 cards. So I see that that is a synchronicity, it's an alignment. So go and watch that video, because I break things down quite nicely. But anyway, going to the Empress, we'll just look at them all. The Empress is abundance. It's abundance, female vitality, sensual pleasure, nurturing, feeling good about life, connecting to nature, mothering others, creating, oh, creative and material what? Reward. So there's no point in me showing you that, it's all backwards, but creative and material rewards, basically. Rewards are coming. And I've said this in my June video, I generally feel rewards are coming, and like I'd like them to be quicker. I'm not gonna lie, I would like them to be quicker, but I generally feel, I'm sure all of us feel something in the air. Rewards are definitely coming. And having the Magician and everything is about abundance, nurturing, feeling good about life, this Empress card. And I feel this is all a part of, again, how you're perceiving your reality with your ego right now, how you're thinking, communicating, because that's impacting what you are attracting into your reality, because it's what you find valuable. Jupiter's getting ready to expand, and change is getting ready to happen, and we're ready for this abundance and award. Okay. Of course, then we have the Devil, which is 15. Number 15. So the Devil is all about, bear in mind it's in reverse, so what I'm saying now is the opposite of that, but it's about illusion, ignorance, sexual temptation, materialism, living a lie, thirst for money or power, unconscious reactions and childlike responses, being obsessed, allowing someone to manipulate you, and limited perception. So this is telling me we are not in the energy of limited perception. We are not in the energy of illusions and someone trying to manipulate us and all of this temptation and things of that nature. We're not unconscious with our thoughts and our actions. So that's a major one, because I says a lot about your thoughts with Mercury. We're not unconscious about it, and it's playing a big role because your thoughts are beginning to attract new experiences into your toroidal field, into your reality. So yeah, we're not out here living lies, man. We're attracting this new experience, and I generally feel like I could read it, but the Magician and the Star kind of speak for itself. What numbers are they? 17 and 1. I generally feel they speak to themselves. We're not in this illusional type of vibe. The Star is all about inspiration, ideal love, truth. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I kind of feel in this new experience that is coming to you, pay attention, because we've got this in reverse for this potential ideal love. Okay. Pay attention. There may be something that's not so ideal that comes up initially, but ultimately, because the star's there, that ideal love will come. So just, you're not you're not in self-doubt, you're seeing things clearly, you're not being too arrogant to see what is the truth. So just be honest with yourself. Like I said, there's some people I'm just like, I just need to let you go. There's no point entertaining this any longer. So it's about being true to that, and maybe this ideal love will come in. But yeah, a truth will be revealed at this time. It could be about love, realization of a dream. Insight and self-belief are essential for happiness. Seeing the light, finding peace within, and feeling generous. So it's like, yeah, there's this realization which I feel makes sense, because like I said, pay attention to what you're thinking, your thoughts, what you find valuable, because there's a realization of some sort. This is all attracting into your toroidal field. What do you want to continue? What do you want to stop? And yeah, and I don't know, I feel it plays a big role. I feel this plays a big role. Let me read this comment. Ever looked into cosmology as it is portrayed across cultures and ages, and experience when observing the sons and daughters of the firmament? Oh, you mean sons and daughters? I'm very poetic, so I kind of really love that. Sons and daughters of the firmament. So like the stars. That's a beautiful way to put it. um I have looked into cosmology. Do you want to know why? I looked into cosmology because I don't know if you've heard of the artist Traumatic or Doctor Dimensional, he goes by. He's really cool. Like the songs he talks about, it's, you have to be in the mood to listen to it, but these lyrics, what he says is interesting. But anyway, in one of his songs, he turns around and says, um he started looking into ancient cosmology because astrology is as fake as NASA or something like that. Or it's probably the other way around. Um, so I did kind of look into it a little bit, and then life distracted me, and then I just fell in love with obviously the stars. But you know what? Forest Reveries, I need to thank you so much. I literally saw your comment today. I still need to respond, but I responded now kind of, but I will respond as well on your comment. But honestly, thank you, because sometimes with my vocabulary, such as luminaries and things like that, sometimes I feel that it's falling on deaf ears, and sometimes I feel like people don't really see me, hear me, understand me, especially why it's taken so long to kind of just be so recognized. um but your comment really brought a smile and lit up my day. It really did, because you says, oh gosh, it was something along the lines of, because I've used the word luminary, know that it's kind of like the right cosmology or something like that, you said. And it was just like, wow, I felt super grateful, because the terminology that I use will obviously resonate with those who are ready to hear it. And your comment was like the biggest confirmation to me. And like I says, I have been going at this for time, over a year. I've been on YouTube for longer, and I'm still just plowing away, not getting much results. But all the time, I keep being brought back to what is my passion, and still just like talking about that and doing that. And eventually the people will come. So your comment, it lit up my day. It really did. Um, yeah, thank you. Thank you. Didn't fall on deaf ears. And I just feel that that's what it's about. I just have to continue, because I feel where the collective consciousness is, their state right now, they have had a certain amount of information, but they're kind of ready for more, something different, and another, or an alternative perspective. And I feel this is where I come in. So even though at times I do have to push myself to do, I was like, no, I enjoy doing it, I'm not gonna lie, though I can get discouraged at times from just kind of how far it goes and stuff, but I love it, so that's why I continue. That's literally why I continue. But yeah, so um yeah, so where was I though? Where was I was on, wait, let me just read this out. I start reading things in my head. poetic on one hand, but also through that little coinage the other day. Oh yeah. The Western take on things through the lens on NASA. Yeah, that made me laugh so much. No, that's the first time I've seen someone break that down. Ass, troll, Troll, orgy, Astral orgy. That was hilarious. No, it's fine. It's not a problem at all. I want to get to a point where I can do like a live stream for 2 to 3 hours and I'll just talk and there's, communication. So thank you. But yeah, that made me laugh. But where was I? So I was on the star, wasn't I? Yeah, star and magician. Basically, obviously, what is the magician about? I feel again it speaks for itself. The magician is number one, which is interesting. But the magician is initiative, persuasion, action, concentration, focusing on a goal, acting with awareness, getting magical results. Wisdom is the key to success. Don't deceive yourself that you know all of the answers. So this is part of the energy that we've got. It's this magician card. Um, so it's action. Like I says, in this whole toroidal field, even though like I am saying change and things being attracted to us, ultimately there's going to be a lot of action and going to be a lot of work. In one of my videos, the 10 of Wands come up, so it's like a lot of work may come in through this sudden change and expansion because just a lot is happening. So do keep that in mind, but ultimately it's taking that action and you are going to see the star. You're going to see that. But ultimately, like I says, we're attracting new things into our toroidal field. We really are. Let me just have another sip of wine because it's still 1 o'clock time. Till midnight for me, probably. But we are attracting new things into our toroidal field, and it is going to get ready to expand as Jupiter knows nothing but to expand. It wants to expand this for you. It really does. Uranus wants to bring this electric change, and of course, it's sparking from these three luminaries here. How you're exchanging your energy, how you're perceiving your reality right now, and what you find valuable in your reality, why you're exchanging your energy this way. It's going to spark how Jupiter expands to bring in this electric change. And I feel the cards kind of confirm that. I do feel Taurus being love and money. Love may come in. Where was the card with love? The star. Love may come in, okay? Especially with Queen of Cups as well. There may be some love coming in because Taurus is about love and money. Seeing this success and being like pushing through, knowing what to do and taking action, I feel is just what will come through this Jupiter expansion as well. To just expand, to possibly bring in this new energy. And I just like to say energy because money is nothing but energy at the end of the day. That's all it is. So it's kind of like not putting on a pedestal. It's simply just energy, and you taking action and doing what is necessary will ultimately amplify your energy. And bear in mind, Jupiter is going to expand. Confirmation, but so if you are how can I put it, working on whatever you're doing, you're working on whatever you're doing, whether that's your job, career path, or anything, Jupiter is getting ready to expand that, and you are going to see from your actions, you're gonna see it. I generally feel you're gonna see it with this whole alignment. And I literally just saw 1 2 2 2 2 on the clock. We've gone for 1 hour and 22 minutes 22 seconds. So that's another confirmation. But yes, that's what I'm seeing. Trust yourself. Like, to kind of summarize, anyone has anything to say, I'm still happy to chat and talk. But basically, trust yourself 100% with the thoughts that come up. I'm going to say that majorly. because the thoughts that come into your head and how you choose to entertain those thoughts or how you choose to exchange those energies will play a big role on the actions you take. And of course, because of the actions you take, and a lot will depend on the moon, I guess, as well, it's what will come into your toroidal field. Whatever your thoughts are, what you're thinking, will validate what is valuable for you in the material reality. So you want to experience it, which will be drawn into your toroidal field. Okay. Like I says, it's a Krella, I can't pronounce it. The body to zodiac. Taurus is the cerebellum. Cerebellum. So the part in your brain, at the back of your brain, and it's there, and that's what energetically how this whole experience happens. It emits your toroidal field from your brain, because a lot happens in our brain. So, like, I don't know where you are in the world, if you're on social media and what you're hearing and stuff, but a lot is changing. A lot, people are waking up. They're fed up of the nonsense. They're fed up of all of this stuff. Where's my bubbles? They're really fed up. So that's just the beginning. People literally being fed up is the beginning of it all. And ultimately, with Pluto being in Capricorn, so is why these foundations that we had aren't supporting us anymore. So they've got to go. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. They've got to go. Celebrities, if you're online, there's a whole celebrity blackout ever since they went to the Met Gala. Many people just like, like, you're not, like, they're useless. Like, let's be real, they're absolutely useless. So not only our personal life, is literally the collective. We are changing, we are transitioning, and ultimately on the biggest scale right now, for the collective, it's what are we beginning to attract into our toroidal field. There was a thing going around on TikTok of pay off your debts, and it's still going around. But ultimately, people realize if people just watch this video for a certain 5 seconds, that's the minimum they need to do. 5 seconds, it will help people to literally pay off their debts. If they do more by liking it, commenting, sharing, whatever, then that adds to it. But people are beginning to realize we can help each other. This is the changing of our foundation. With celebrities, people are just like, you're not helping, so fuck you, basically. We're over celebrities, the majority of them anyway. um and it's shifting. We gave so much power to these celebrities who don't even know you exist, so much power to them, but it's not helping us. So why continue to feed them our energy? So this whole celebrity blockout didn't happen for no reason. It's not a coincidence. It was calculated. Their time is done. It's as simple as that. Their time is done, which will make way for new artists, for one. And it will make way for us supporting each other in a better way. So yeah, there's that. There's the schooling system. So many people are trying to take their children out of school. They're like, no, this isn't the best. So many people are just over things, bills, council tax, everything like that, gas, electric. They're like, you lot are fraudsters. You're just committing fraud. That's all you're doing. Um, and we're over it. And this is the work of Pluto being in Capricorn. You see? Oh, little tiny confirmation, but and another one. So transformation can only happen through the death of something else, and this is why the celebrities are dying. This is why old systems are being outdated. I'm not saying they're all going to disappear, but they're going to be less, or the amount of people feeding it with their energy is going to be much less. So shit, what's the time? Oh damn, I wanted to get a pizza. I wanted to get a pizza. Now I just have to drive instead of walk. I wanted to just walk to the shop. I have to drive now because it's too far. But it's fine. Um, yeah, so I feel I've rambled on, but I generally feel that this is this is it. A lot has happened, and I feel it's generally time. We're attracting new experiences into our toroidal field that may be a little bit choppy at the beginning. It may be a little bit of adjusting to, because it's your own personal life as well as the collective consciousness. So just brace yourself. But ultimately, the star, there's no illusions up in there, no illusions. You are the magician. You're the motherfucking star. Okay, motherfucking star, as well as the empress. So just trust yourself with what comes in, all of your thoughts. And even if this is my own little motivational speech to kind of summarize and finish, but even if you're kind of feeling how is this going to happen? I don't see how. I've been working at whatever and I just do not see it. How am I going to do it? Not see much stuff. Just keep going and keep trusting yourself, because we're in the energy of attracting a new toroidal field to us that is in full alignment with all of these. How you're perceiving reality, how you exchange your energy, what you find valuable, and is getting ready to expand that and create change in that area. Okay, so trust yourself. Definitely trust yourself. um Carbohydrates, what's carbohydrates? The wine. is the wine carbohydrates? um but yeah, so that's kind of what I'm seeing. Oh, pizza. Yeah, I know. I know. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not. I say I'm not gonna lie. That's another thing that I've been thinking in in my mind. I generally am super happy to only eat. I hate food, cooking food. There's moments I really love it, and then there's times I have a love-hate relationship with food. And I'd be completely content to only just have salad majority of the time. Sometimes a fruit dish, sometimes a salad dish, and then the odd time a cooked meal. Like, and that's something that has come up in my head as a thought. So it's something I actually want to do. Like, I don't like cooking. I cook because I have to, because I've got two mouths to feed. But if I didn't, I wouldn't eat majority of time, to be honest. One a day. Yeah, and I'll be honest, I feel much better as well when I just eat once a day. And I feel like this is coming up again quite boldly for me for a reason, because again, it's a part of what you're attracting into your toroidal field. And like I'm ready for my body to be good. Like, I want to look younger than I do now when I'm like 50. That's my aim. I'd still like to be able to do a backflip, handspring, cartwheel, and all of that stuff when I'm 50. I want to do it. So I'm learning now to do a backspring and stuff. And I'm ready to just eat better, cut out nonsense like this, like so often anyway. Enjoy it here and there, but I have it a little too much. Um, yeah, proper off grid. Do you live off grid? Do you live off grid? But like, I do feel that there's times when it comes to just the food, um, when your belly makes the noise, it's not hungry. I know a lot of us think, oh, I'm hungry now, I need to feed it. But that's just trying to say I'm tired of the food. Yes, you live off grid. That's amazing. That's so amazing. Like, I'm sure ready to do that. Well, I don't want to say so ready. I guess I'm not ready because it's not happened yet. But it's just like, I'm in cloudy Birmingham and I do not like it. We have our allotment, we have our garden where we grow food and stuff. But it's just like, with how the weather's been this year, that's also been terrible. Like, our cherry tree is not doing the best, and I feel sorry for the cherry tree. Our blueberry tree is doing good. We're getting like veg and stuff, which is good, but like, I'm just so ready to come out of this city. I really am. I'd love a camper van. I'd love a camper van and to just travel that way and have a base, but drive out, just wake up in beautiful locations, just take me and my children and let them, like, I'd like to world school them. Instead of just homeschool, you're in the house learning. We're learning in the world. We're going to go out and actually experience different things. And again, this is all part of Mercury, and it's like, this is what I'm truly ready for. Um, yeah. Are you tired in England? Yeah, I am tired. Where are you from? You're not in England. I am. I'm tired all the time. Do you want to know why? I'm gonna say want to know why, but I am tired all the time. I do have. I'm gonna say all the time, but I am anemic and stuff, so that plays a role. But this weather does not help. Like it really does not help. Um. Oh, am I tired? Tired. Oh, I thought it said tired. The weather don't help though. It really doesn't help. These are just my eyes. When I say tied, it's family. Is literally just family. There's no like major commitments and stuff. We can like rent out the house. We do have a property. Um, so that's a possibility. But it's only family because I co-parent my children. Like I've thought about just going somewhere, but because I co-parent my children, it's also knowing that they have access to their father and things like that. So it's that element as well. Um, but that's the only thing. So yeah, and that dynamic may change eventually where I could live further and such, but it's like right now, it's just family. Where I've got ties to, but I'm ready to come out of this country, to be honest. I'm content with having a location here for a base where it's like our family base and it's there. But I'm definitely content. Again, it's Mercury with this new toroidal field, but I'm definitely content with being out of this country and just coming back when I choose. Um, yeah, it's like co-parenting you. It's good. Like it's healthy for me. It is healthy, but it's just making sure that he has full access when he obviously wants to see his children, which he has anyway. Like he's got a key to my place. It's absolutely fine. He can come anytime. So it's just maintaining that basically for if I'm like a flight away, it's just a different story. Um, so yeah, but I swear I'm ready for so much more. Um, yeah, I've said a lot about attracting, redefining the toroidal field. I'm guessing you're going to say a bit more. Let me just have a little sip on my wine. Oh, I can read it here too. I'm squinting my eyes trying to read it on the phone. I can read it on my laptop. Um, it is. It's a it's a transformative time. I'm generally seeing it like I really am. And I know a lot of people have been talking about this. There's a shift happening. People say it in different ways. It depends on your point of view. Religious people will say the Lord is coming, Jesus is coming back, things of that nature. More spiritual people are saying it's a shift to 5D or new earth and things like that nature. I don't know what it is, but I know there's an energetic shift. I've heard people say there's going to be like a splitting, a timeline splitting, and there's basically going to be people just operating in the more free scope, and then more people still restricted and things of that nature. Like, I do not know, but I feel transitioning and change happening and confirmation, but the luminaries are supporting that. And this is why, again, I say it makes sense looking at the sky, seeing yourself that they're in Taurus. It's about this new toroidal field, the whole collective, our whole realm. I'd like to call the world a realm because it's more fun, but our whole realm is beginning to attract right now. So, um, So it says, so perhaps at some point, someone, no, sooner or later, there will come about that final incentive to bid farewell to yes, to city living. Um, what did you say there? The thing's called. Oh, may have forgotten to answer. Southeast Portland here. Oh, Southeast Poland. Oh, Poland. Oh, lovely. Lovely. But yeah, I agree with the city living. And again, I used to be very religious. I grew up in the Seventh-day Adventist church and things like that. And there was still a lot of talk about moving out of the city and just coming out of the city. And even though I don't subscribe to religion that way, I still resonate with that. Come out of the city. This isn't the place for us. It's really not the place for us. Um, it's not. It's convenient because everything's kind of right there, but I don't like it. Naturally, myself, I feel so much happier being in nature. So, I'm happy that I do have a garden. It's a beautiful garden. I love to ground and stuff, but it's just so beautiful when I go to a body of water, go out in nature and things like that, and to just be able to have that pretty much on your doorstep or around you is what I'm ready for. To be honest, is what I'm ready for. Like the city's just not the place to be. I don't think it's the place to be, and it's time to go. And I'm happy that this has kind of come up, and I'm kind of saying it out there because I've spoke to my family about it and stuff. But again, Mercury being in Taurus, oh shit, how I'm communicating, exchanging my energy, talking about that because that's what I'm ready to attract in my toroidal field. Um, that's what I'm ready to attract. So yeah, I'll just say you lot, whenever you're watching this video, if you've watched this long, when you reach to this point, what are you talking about? What conversations happen and then something just comes up? What has been in your mind? What you really want and things of that nature? Because I feel it's important and I feel it will really shape pretty much the next decade as Pluto's getting ready to do our thing. It's beginning to shape that because Jupiter is going to want to expand your toroidal field, which will attract these new experiences, which will be a part of your solid foundation and what you're getting ready to attract for your stability. So definitely trust yourself. Um, and I feel this, not say feel, this has literally been the longest live that I've done. So well done to me. Give myself a round of applause. Usually just over an hour, my mouth gets super tired. I'm like, I've got to go. I've got to go. But my mouth wasn't tired today. So well done, Kelita. Mm. Yeah, my mouth was not tired today. So I feel, again, entering into this new toroidal field. But yeah, to end anyway, thank you everyone so much for joining me. Trust yourself with what has come up recently for you, your thoughts, how you're communicating, what you're finding as valuable and important right now. Continue to trust yourself with that because you're the motherfucking magician. You're the magician. You're not being delusional. There's no illusions. No one's taking you for a mug. And of course, last but not least, you're the star. We are the stars of our own show, and this is our stage. So let's have fun. Um, yeah, yeah, you're welcome. I feel vulnerability is definitely important. Just be. Oh, I had to just put a box here to put this up. By the way, so if you see this, it's just my mask. It's just very random, but yeah, you're the star. You are the star, so continue to trust yourself. Thank you for reaching this far in the video. Do make sure if you would like, do grab the calendar if you'd like it. Like I said, there's physical and digital copies available, but if you grab the digital copy, you can get this one for free, just if you pay postage and packaging. It's not underneath the video, but I will put it under the video description as soon as I finish. It's on Etsy, but it's connected to my page. You can grab this. Like I says, the digital copy is fully up to date, but there was just two minor mistakes with the eclipses in this, but I've still got the calendar. So that's the reason why if you get the digital copy, which is fully up to date, you can get the physical one for free. If you'd like to support, I do also offer birth chart readings. That's in full alignment with the sky. I'll put the information down below at the end of the video too. But like I says, though I do offer that, I always say it's not necessary. Just trust yourself at minimum. And if you want to go a bit further, just check for yourself. Only if you want that deeper explanation, I do offer that if you would like it. But you can check for yourself and see where your placements are in the sky and see if it resonates. But yeah, do stick around for when this big ass diary finally gets released and you can write things down with the different transits and what's happening. There's plenty of writing space. So do stick around for that. Like, I'm struggling. I'm not gonna lie. If anyone knows anything about Amazon KDP, please let me know. Please help your girl out because I'm struggling just to publish it. And I don't understand the reason. Keep saying to extend the cover over a certain amount. And I do that, but it still don't work, even though they've printed me a copy and it looks fine. So I'm like, why print me a copy but tell me to change something before it can be published? So I'm just really confused, but I'm gonna keep trying. I'll keep trying. But yeah, thank you anyway for your support, and make sure ultimately you trust yourself and choose wisely or pay attention, be intentional about all the things coming into your toroidal field. Okay? So trust yourself. And with that being said, um the bleed. I've done the bleed, you know, because on where I created it, you've got the option to do the bleed and the printing. And I done that and put it on there, and it still says the same thing. I made it bigger and done the bleed, and it's still done the same thing. But I'm gonna try again. It's like contacting Amazon is a myth. It's the biggest myth. I don't even know how to contact them. So, but I'm gonna keep trying. I guess it will come out when it's ready to come out, maybe when more people see. I don't know, but thankfully the calendar is fully ready and available, whether that's digital or physical. So that's available. Um, but yeah, like, yeah, it's strange. It's really strange. Like, I don't understand. It says I have to extend it past 0.32 millimeters or something, and I do that and it still doesn't work. So I don't know at this point, but I'll try again. I'll try again. I'll see how I can contact them, see what's going on. But it will be available when it's time, I guess, when it's in full alignment. And yeah, but until then, definitely the calendar's available. Definitely use the 10% discount, and you're more than welcome to the physical copy. If you get the digital, you pay postage and packaging. But yeah, thank you though. My mouth right now is getting tired and my eyes are getting sleepy at 1 hour and 40 odd minutes. So thank you. I appreciate you so much for joining me for this length of time. This is the longest I've done for this length of time with this amount of people who's here. So it's still not a lot, but it's something for me. It's progress, it's growth. So I'm celebrating that. But yeah, I will catch you in my video tomorrow, my crypto angles podcast video, because the crypto market is interesting. So definitely stick around for that. My audio was awful in the last video, but I've got a mic. I've got a new mic, so it should be better. So yeah, I'll see you in that next video. Make sure you check out the, like what I says, check out the Universal 8-year that is on my channel already. It's like in my numerology playlist. Check that out. As well as look out for the Jupiter in Taurus video, because I go into more detail just about symbology and everything. Check that out. And the Uranus in Taurus video is going to come out soon, so definitely keep an eye out for that. A bag of XRP and V-Chain. Yes, I need to buy some more, you know. I'm ready to buy a little bit more. Probably tomorrow or tonight, but I'm ready to buy more. But yeah, crypto it's a major role. Oh, also, if you haven't, I have done a video. It's like waters above, or wolf pack video for waters of above, basically. And I cover the luminary placements up until like 2050, I think, with how I'm seeing it could impact the crypto market from immediately to short term, middle term, and long term, based on 3 luminaries. So definitely check out that video. It is on my like Crypto Angles podcast. It's like Waters Above Special or something like that, and I go into it into more depth. So definitely check out that video. But crypto's going to be interesting. Maybe I'll jump on live another time and just talk about crypto. But yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. The very concept of waters above says it all. And this is why I gravitated to him. So he is my mentor. I'm not gonna lie, I'm being transparent. He's my mentor. I do learn from him, but it was the name alone, and then not the name drew me in, but it was the personality and everything. I am just like, yes, this makes sense. This is how I learned the crypto with gematria and astrology, and I just combined it. But I put in he kind of learned from me the astrology of the sky. So it's from my input with things, he started to look more at like, okay, what's sidereal saying, which is more in alignment with the sky, and he does say a lot the actual sky. And I'm kind of blown away. I'm like, wow, Jordan, yay. I kind of feel heard and listened to. So I really love that. But yeah, waters above, he's a lovely guy, like from his personality alone. um it's amazing. So, and his wisdom is wild. And that's why I've learned some stuff. And when learning, I've been able to just stay calm and see things clearly for what it is when operating in the hologram, you know? But yeah, he's basically one of my masculine supports. And I've said this to him. I've told him, and he was just like, wow, he's honored, because it's true. He's one of my masculine supports. I don't have many. So, like, beyond family, it's definitely him. But check out his channel, honestly. He went live today, but I did miss it, so I need to watch that, catch up on that, and his video. But honestly, I do recommend him. And if you don't understand him, I guess this is where I come in, as I generally feel the way consciousness works, and this is like nerdy geekiness coming out, but the way consciousness works, I feel we create sparks within ourselves, within like the collective consciousness. Imagine like a tree branch, and then we create these sparks which activates other people and other things. So it's kind of like someone on this branch may not understand someone on this branch, type of thing, but when that spark happens, connects up and it expands, and then it can connect to someone on this branch. So it's kind of like, that's what we're here for. We add our own interpretation to which allows other people to resonate and see what is happening and being said. And that's what I feel. So some of this stuff has been like, whoa. But I realized that adding my own knowledge and knowing of things to what I had learnt from there helps other people to see it too. And that's what I love just about the collective. And I feel this is how we grow. We add our own spark to what sparked us, and that helps spark other people. And I just love that. So it's all about being yourself, I guess, which is something I'm still just trying to be confidently. When I say confidently, like there's confidence, but you can just get discouraged with online stuff. But it's okay, it happens, it's growth. We're transitioning, we're entering into a new toroidal field. So I'll see on that. I'll see. It's all observation, I guess. It's all an experiment to see how we truly are impacted by nature, what's happening above our head. other than the story we've been told. Because I'm gonna end soon, but I'm just rambling. But when it comes to mainstream astrology, I generally feel as that has been pushed ahead of time by like a few degrees, just as they had changed the calendar from April being the beginning of the month to January, and then called everyone a fool if you tried to keep that date. I generally feel it was the same with astrology. They tried to take us off center of who we are, literally from that fragmentation of light since we entered this realm. They tried to push it ahead of time and say, this is who you are. And because back in the day when astrology was kind of there, but not so much people was into it, but was still in the back of magazines, still in the back of newspapers, of the horoscopes, and people just assumed and took that as, yep, this is the time I was born, blah blah, and they took that story that they gave them, though that was not in alignment with the sky. They took that story, we took that story, and we try to live that story out. And sometimes it's challenging. I felt many times, this isn't who I am. It's like the Taurus qualities. I resonate with it at times, being May born, 7th of May. I resonate with the Taurus qualities at times, but not most of the time. I enjoy food sometimes, but sometimes I hate food. I hate looking at it. I'd rather like fast. I'd rather just not eat. If I could just eat one thing for a whole month, I'd be content. Like I really would. So I didn't resonate with these things, and I just realized this was the story they were telling us we're gonna be. So if you had fallen into the realm of I am looking at astrology now to learn more about myself, it's still their story they were telling you to look at through mainstream Western astrology. It was still their story basically, because that was what they had put for time. It's like, these are the dates, so you just accepted it. Whereas I found when I just looked at the sky, I was like, this makes more sense. I am not only a Pisces rising, I'm a Pisces moon. My Mars is in Pisces as well. I've got a lot of Pisces energy, and oftentimes I felt like a loner. I felt popular, people liked me, but I still felt like a loner. I generally felt misunderstood by close people around me, which made sense with the Pisces qualities. So when I just looked at the sky, I'm like, this makes sense to me for sure. um but yeah, and read this comment. Yeah, one in a whole ocean of lies, the Gregorian toilet paper of a calendar. It takes but 1.5 generations to completely rope them. Yeah, you see, 1.5. So, and like, it's interesting you say that, because I do homeschool my children, and obviously I can't show you the homeschool setup because I'm not downstairs, but I have, when my children are won't say babies, my son's 6, my daughter's 4, so I was doing this when they were literally left nursery. The only system they went into was nursery. But my daughter, she was meant to finish summer this year, so like literally July. Next month she was meant to finish, but after September last year she refused to go back. So I just trusted her. I was like, it's fine, you don't need to go back. It's absolutely fine. So I was homeschooling her as well. But in my homeschool setup, the days of the cycle, I don't like to say week because words are spells, but the days of the cycle, Saturday through Sunday, they have that on their little wall, and it's also got the symbols of what days fuel, what luminaries fuel that day. So basically, just on my calendar, just at the top, you've got Sunday is the sun, Moon Day, Moon, Tuesday, Mars, Wednesday, Mercury, Thursday, Jupiter, Friday, Venus, and Saturday, Saturn. That's on their little, that's on their little chart. So it's like they're recognizing that. So whether that's the 1.5 generations, but I'm definitely all for that. And again, just homeschooling them in general, not trying to, because I don't want anyone to get the impression like I'd like, oh, all this astrology stuff, blah blah. I'm trying to tell my children. I don't. They're babies. They don't need to know any of this stuff. It's irrelevant at the end of the day. The most I do, because they know I love to look at the sky and just stargaze, um if they're awake, they'll be like, "Can I look at the stars with you?" I'm like, "Of course." And they'll come out and they're looking at the stars. I'm like, "You see that star there? That's Jupiter. That star there." And I'll just name the stars because they can visibly see them. And that's it. I don't say, "This makes you do," or "Jupiter's part of expansion." They don't need to know that. It's not important for them. Um, do the kids have to pass some sort of state exams periodically? What, homeschooling? Through homeschooling them? No. So when you're in school, there are like loads of exams you have to go through. Like, obviously you're from somewhere else, so it's called something else, but in year 6 you have something called the SAT exams over here in the UK. So that's kind of like the first major exams. You've got little ones. I think there's one in like year 1 is like no, not year 1, year 2. This is reception class before you go into year 3. Again, I don't know if that's called like first grade or whatever elsewhere, I'm not sure. But you have them exams even in year 6, but all of them are irrelevant. You have your year 9 exams. This may be called ninth grade, I'm not sure. But you have your year 9 exams when you're in secondary school, high school, basically. And that's irrelevant too. You have literally pretty much exams for every year, but all it kind of does is determine what class they're going to be in or what set they're going to be in the next year. That's all it does. The only exams that are more important, that I'd say, which gives you access to college, is in year 10, no, year 11. So basically your last year of school, then that's the most important exam. And when you homeschool the children, depending on their ability, they can take that a little earlier, which means they can start college earlier and things like that if they're ready for it. But if they take it in the same year, they can just take that exam. Like, yeah, I'm not really interested in stressing my children out with exams. Their dad does want them to try for like the 11 plus. Um, but still, even after the 11 plus, they're still going to be homeschooled. So it's like, is there any point? Is there any point? I don't know. Um, but yeah, that's kind of like the exam process in school. All of them are irrelevant except the last one, which will determine your college place, and then it's from college that will determine your uni place. So they're the only more important ones, and I feel, unfortunately, the schooling system has put so much stress. I feel we've just gone into talk time here, but they're putting so much stress on all of these extra exams, literally from year 2, when you are, shit, what age? Like 7, 8, if anything. So much stress to be like, oh, do this. Continual stress of this exam is so important, and it's not. And I'm not going to lie, though your end of year exams are going to be important when it comes to college, they're still not important when it comes to the grand scheme of life, you know? Um, oh, part of my family is British, just asking about homeschooling programs and if these are somehow verified by the system. So when it comes to homeschooling, it depends. If your child was in school and you take them out of school, then they will be watching your child much more. But my children, because they just went from nursery and they didn't go into school, they're just not really watching me or checking in and things of that nature. But ultimately, homeschooling, you can do whatever you choose. You can do whatever you choose, and you can still pay for the exams. So obviously you just teach them what's going on in the exam, basically, and then they take the exam. And this is why it's like, when it comes to my children, there's no need to stress them out for all the unnecessary exams. But when they're at the level of entering into college, then, well, so I'm not just then at that moment. I do have my cousin, which is also a teacher, and she homeschools online. So she homeschools other children. She homeschools online at home other homeschool students, and she's taken them through the exams and stuff. So she's basically going to just guide me throughout the whole time. Um,
but none of them are important. And you pay for the exam when you're ready, get them ready for the exam. They can take it earlier and so on. But ultimately, there's no curriculum to follow. You do your own, which is, yeah, you do your own. So obviously, because my children are only learning the basic things pretty much, that's what I'm sticking to. And I just focus on them. I focus on them. I'm like, okay, you're struggling a bit with this. Let me turn this into a game or another activity. Let me create this. I create my own resources and stuff. And yeah, so that's where I am with that. I can't speak too much on the later years, but my nephew was homeschooled. He came out of school and was homeschooled for like the last 2 years. So I do know a little bit about that because my sister done that. But yeah, and she just paid for the exams. So when it was time to take his exams, she paid for it and he went to a place and then took it. So it's still possible. I know many people think, can they still do exams when? Yes, you can. You just pay for it because the schools pay for it anyway. And you go to a location and take the exam. So yeah, so that's homeschooling. That's homeschooling, but it is lovely. I do like it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad in my decision because I do not trust the system. The children's dad, though he is still religious, but he's just like he doesn't want his children in school with what they're teaching and stuff, and I'm all for that. I'm like I love it. I love just seeing my children learn instead of them being away for 6+ hours of the day. I'm actually seeing their learning progress as I'm teaching it, and it's just such a beautiful experience. Like, it's priceless at the end of the day. Just seeing their development alone as they grow from a little baby to walking, talking is amazing, but seeing them learn and their comprehensive skills, how they're thinking, how you just know, like, oh, giving them the time, it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. It is challenging. It's not easy every day, I'm not gonna lie. Especially when life is life in, it can be challenging. However, it's just a wonderful experience. And that's something I'm just like, I'm ready to just up my game, especially because they're growing. It's like it's time to up my game with that as well. Um, the system churns out obedient citizens, not independent critical thinkers able to solve life's problems creatively. Is true. Like, I agree 100%. I generally feel like I've had a lot of that of, oh, aren't your children going to miss out on the social aspect? Aren't they going to do this? Aren't they? Blah, blah, just so many things. I've even had some family members cussing me off. Well, I won't say cussing me off, not directly, indirectly, but basically saying, me don't know why she homeschool them for. She needs to put them back in school and blah blah. Literally just going on about I need to put them back in, well, say back in school. I need to put them in school. Shouldn't homeschool them and things like that. And I'm just like, shut up, shut up. You are a older boomer. You do not know anything. I wouldn't say do not know anything, but this individual family member, you do not know the system. You're just not aware of that. You still happily say you need to pay TV license, and that says it all to me. That says it all. You do not need to pay TV license. Um, you really don't need to pay TV license, but I see where his level of awareness is at. So I'm just like, you can say what you need to say about homeschooling, but you don't know. The education system was not created to help you. At the end of the day, there's the best way to put it. It was not created to help you. They don't want you to think. They want you to work for them and to be obedient and to say, yes, you do what they say when they say, just like holidays, blah, blah, blah. So it wasn't created to help you, it was just created to keep you obedient and a slave to what they're doing. And that was something, once I learnt that with the Rothschilds and when they created the education system as well as the pharmaceutical system, I was like, I can't, after knowing this, I cannot put my children in school. I can't do it. And at the beginning, just before my son was kind of meant to be applying to school, um, their dad was just like, maybe they should go to like a Christian school. But I was just like, no. Like that was something I put my foot down, because I'm like, that's as bad as all of the other schools. And thankfully he was just on board with it anyway. But yeah, it doesn't help. And I'm just like, oh, reconnecting. This is a massive Yeah, human or farm. It is like 100%. I couldn't I couldn't do it. I really couldn't do it. I was just like, I can't, knowing all of this information that I know, I can't put my children through this and continue this same thing that has been happening. I just refuse. They're doing nothing but harnessing energy. That's literally all they're doing from every single angle possible. And it starts from them raising your children through the educational system. They create life to a point where parents even have to put their child in before school club and after school club, making it an almost a 12-hour day for a child. Like literally. And I know some parents have no choice but to do that, but it's actually really sad. Um, it is how they view us. I don't know. Have you seen the video of the rabbi? Have you seen the video of the rabbi? Um, it's Rabbi Shinkle something. Um, Rabbi Shinkelshen or something like that. But anyway, this rabbi, I wish I saved the video because I'd watched it on YouTube a few times, but it's like it's gone off YouTube. There's just clips of it on TikTok that I've noticed. But this rabbi said, this rabbi said, one, he sees, like, they see people just as cattle. They see them as cattle, and sometimes you need to thin the herd. Okay, thin the herd, which means you need to get rid of some of the cattle. They called they did break it down into different skin colors, different race. I like to see us just all as pretty much one race. We're just different tones of one race. However, they went down into different races, and they says that when it comes to white people, they see them as goyim, and they are the scum of the earth, and they do not like them. There was a name for black people, but I can't remember the name. But they says that um we like them a little bit more than the goyim, but still we just give them music, drugs, all of that stuff to just keep music, yeah, rapping, blah blah, to just keep them there. He just made that clear. He also says your children are getting babysat for 12 years while our children are getting real education. That's what he says. And it made me think there were no Jews in my class. There were no Jews in any of my classes. I was like, fascinating. And then the last point that stood out to me, I swear I need to find the whole interview again. Rabbi Shing something. The last point was that your children go missing, we take them from you, and what we do is we grind them up and put it in your burgers and you eat them. That's what the rabbi says. Says you're eating your own children. And that made me grateful. I was like, one, I'm a vegetarian anyway, so I never really ate that stuff, but I did eat some stuff from McDonald's, like fillet of fish or blah blah. But I was like, shit. So all of these stuff, it is a human farm. They thin the cattle, they keep you whatever because they just want to control you through their education system and everything. And when they need to get rid of you, they just get rid of you, you know? Um, do they? Do they have their own month? But yeah, I don't, it's just racism stuff. I just don't subscribe to it. I I see us as consciousness living out every single angle possible because it simply wants to. And that comes from different tones, different shades, different shapes, different experiences of every single individual, because ultimately we are just one source fractalized into many. So these are the alternate realities. And I literally done a video on dimensions, but I've not edited it yet, and I wanted to edit it and bring it out. But when we're told about, oh, this alternate reality, this dimension, and things of that nature, what if this existence is all that it is? What if every single possibility is basically just being lived out through another vessel, right here, right now? I am you, you are me, living out life through an alternate reality, through a different perspective. You know how media, movies, and everything likes to portray there's a version of you, and it still looks exactly like you, but you're doing a little bit something different, you've changed something. But what if in our actual reality, this is me and you and me, we look different, but we are the same source playing through a different perspective? Like, that's what I came across, is the same conclusions. But that's what I thought. I was like, you know how they do like to deceive us, put deceptions, put truth in lies. We've been portrayed through many movies of this alternate reality, these new dimensions, these things of that nature. But what if it's all just here? We're living in different dimensions of perspective. We're living in different angles of reality through every single individual that is breathing breath right now. These are the other dimensions of reality, so to say. These are the other alternative yous. We are all one source playing itself and seeing itself through different angles. So that's something, and again, maybe more of an unpopular opinion because so many of us, especially with the movies, I don't know if you've seen the latest Ant-Man, but it's like loads of versions of him, and there's many movies anyway, not just Ant-Man. But many people are subscribing to that. But I don't know whether this is out of anxiety or fear or whatever of them just creating so many lies. I'm just like, I don't want to trust it fully. It can't be that, because they sprinkle lies in with truth. But what's sitting heavy on me is the alternate realities are happening here right now through every single individual experiencing reality in a different way, and that is the alternate reality. Like, um yeah, they do drop hints around movies, bits of the ultimate truth, while the so-called daily news is one massive continuous load of bollocks. Yeah, it's true. So I agree. Like, they present the movies in a way that seems unrealistic, impossible, like fully impossible, not realistic. So if you see a certain superpower or whatever in a movie, you're like, it's just a movie, I can't do it, things like that nature, and you just surpass it. Now, bear in mind, they're showing bits of it and mix it with lies. But when it comes to obviously the north, east, south, west. I only learned that the other day, that news stands for north, east, south, west. Makes sense. But it's just nonsense. It's just nonsense. It's noise. Whatever is presented on the news, and again, something Jordan said, waters above. He's just like, everything mainstream is wrong. That's a popular quote from someone, I can't remember, but he does quote it a lot. And he was just like, when it comes to what's mentioned on the news, it's just about doing opposite. And I've heard quite a few people say that if it's there on the news, listen to it in the opposite way, because it's a whole leap of nonsense at the end of the day. And the movies, they say, yeah, you can do this, can do that. But they put it in movie form, so you think that it's not possible for you. Like, I'm not gonna lie, my son and I, we we practiced like telekinesis for the first time, and I just recorded the experience because I was practicing, and then I happened to move it a little bit, and I was like, I was like so mind blown. So I tried before, couldn't move it at all, and then like about 9 months had passed, and I tried again with my son, and that was the first time I moved it for a bit. So then I started to record it. I have quite a few different clips, and I put it on TikTok. I put it on TikTok, and it's literally at 1 million views. I was like, whoa. So I put it on there November last year, but like now it's reached 1 million views. And there was a lot of comments of people just saying that's not possible, that's just Air Force, humans don't have powers and blah blah. Now, like a big thing, because the movies, so going back to the movies, because we're portrayed these powers and stuff in movies, we think we don't have these powers or any form of it, when really we are powerful and we have something there for sure. We have something there, like, inevitably, but we've been so programmed, it's just like, no, you don't have these things, you can't do it, when in matter of fact we actually can. But so many people just like, no, that's not it. Move a house, move. I'm like, bruh, you need to start somewhere. People are just like, it's Air Force. Air Force is needed at the beginning, but you notice a difference between the air and energy. But people don't want to accept it because we don't feel we're special. We don't feel we're anything. We're just here like a useless human, you know? And I don't know if I'm delusional, and maybe this is, I've got a lot of Pisces in my natural coding. I've got a lot of Pisces, so delusion is inevitable for me, but whatever. Um, but I see that we are powerful. I see that we are powerful, and we're not using, like, not even a fraction of 1% of our powers that we've got, because we've been so suppressed. Like, I feel we've been so suppressed. Oh, you're Pisces ascending. Yay. Same. Same. Pisces rising, as well as Moon and Mars. So I've just got a lot of Pisces in there, which, like I says, to me, it just made sense. Like, I get it. Sometimes I just zone out, just like, and I'm gone. I've entered into a whole new realm. I just zone out. Um, I feel misunderstood a lot, which makes sense. But yeah, I get it though. But yeah, like, I generally feel that more people are waking up to this stuff, basically. More people are waking up to it, thankfully. Just the illusion and the deception that's been going on. And it's like, I feel just as I don't really want to say the term, but you know what happened in 2020, all the lockdowns and stuff like that. But it's like something so extreme and so stupid had to happen for people to actually question and just be like, what's going on? For people to wake up and, like, I know it may have been for some cases, but I hope it wasn't like a case of something like major happened in people's life where it's like, shit, I need to wake up from this. But I know that would have been the case for some people. But it's like all of these things, even in schools, they're refusing students to go to the toilet, literally. And some students have had accidents of refusing, like, girls when they're on the period to go to the toilet. Some girls who have heavy flows and stuff, they've had to call their parents. Then they got a detention for calling their parents, so they couldn't use their phone. It's just madness. But it's like all of this madness needs to happen for the collective to wake up and to put a stop to it. You know what I mean? For something to be done and for change to actually happen. So, in my head, enough change has happened for people to stand up. But yet, I feel there's something coming. I don't know what. I feel there's just something else coming. Um, Will it be the level of 2020? I don't know. Will it be the same thing, worse, or something different? Cyber attack vibes or whatever? I don't know. It could be anything, but I do feel all of these things is popping up and something needs to happen, like clearly, to make people think this is so dumb. It's literally so dumb. What's going on? Um, there's something about cyclical plan. I love the word pandemic. I use that word a lot. I'm like pandemic, scamdemic. But that's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The only thing I'd say is whatever is needed for change to happen to benefit us, like I don't want some, like, I don't know something. I personally feel enough has been done for people to stand up and say change needs to happen. Yeah, I don't know the scale of things. Maybe more people need to know, or something, for something more to happen, for more people to be like no. um but ultimately, as we are entering a new toroidal field, like I says, and even though the Sun, Mercury, and Venus will exit there, Jupiter's gonna be in Taurus for a minute. It's gonna be in there for a minute. Uranus is basically pretty much on the cusp of Taurus and Aries, and after it finishes retrograding, it's gonna officially be in Taurus again for a long time, like a decent amount of time. So, um, whatever happens is impacting what we're attracting into our reality. Like, it really is. So if something extra is gonna happen this year, my intention, I don't really like to hope, but my intention is that more people are on the side of it benefiting us and for more freedom, because we just need more people like vibrating in an expansive rate to overpower the like smaller amounts. But yeah, there's a reason why we're experiencing these events now. Do you feel alienated, abandoned by the power above? I don't. Nothing can essentially happen to us. Yeah, like, I'm not gonna lie, I do not feel alienated or powerless against them, but I do just feel alienated and powerless in life. Not necessarily against them. I'm very like, you motherfuckers. That's what I'm like, you motherfuckers. And it is like all of my actions are like, what I do in my life is to stand opposite of what they are doing, just be like, no, I'm not doing that. Again, I speak openly about it, so I just could not put my children in school and still talk about this stuff. That's like a bit of hypocrisy for me personally. So I just couldn't do it, so I haven't done it. um but yeah, it's like, I do feel, as you says, that last part, nothing can essentially happen to us. I resonate with that a lot. I feel it will all be okay. I feel this is the story that is playing out, just like every single story we've had with superheroes, all that stuff. You've always got good and bad. How can I put it? Like, no, like that. Yin and yang. No, it should be like that. Yeah. Yin and yang. You've got yin and yang, you've got good and bad, positive, negative energy, and things of that nature. And I generally feel we are, though life can feel difficult and challenging at times, like it is now a little bit, but ultimate show, and also the interactor of the show. And I generally feel it is playing out as we had all collectively decided. That is kind of my perspective. So ultimately, I don't feel anything will happen to us. And again, I generally feel, um because we are all one, even if one of us exits and leaves the realm at a certain time, ultimately the collective mind, like what I was showing in this book, but ultimately the collective mind knows the story and is carrying that out and living it out, so there's also nothing to fear. And I feel like, thank you for that reminder, because sometimes you can just get down just about life where you're currently at and stuff. And even though I can get down a little about it, I still know This is a season, it's a story that's playing out. It's this good and bad narrative. Jesus, the devil, Batman. Who's Batman's nemesis? The Joker. Superman. I don't know Superman's nemesis, but you know what I'm saying. There's all the good and bad, and obviously you've got God, Satan, blah blah. Um, and yeah, it's just getting through that. Even, oh gosh, in your own stories, my wrist is really hurting. My wrist is really hurting. Like a little bit of extra vulnerability. If you don't know, I had a challenging May. My drink got spiked one night when I went out, and then the next thing I remember, I'm in handcuffs. But basically, I feel like I've got some nerve damage from the handcuffs. Um, so yeah, semi-traumatized by that. Like literally, when I do this, my finger feels numb. Like it feels numb, and this hand, like today and yesterday, I just had a lot of pain. Um, but yeah, so it's just life, but I'm just growing through that. I'm traumatized, I'm not gonna lie. And I've got a lot to work through with that. And I'm laughing because I'm traumatized. But yeah, I'll be okay though. It's life, isn't it, I guess. It's all part of the story. As whether this is the collective story or a smaller story, whatever. It's all part of uh, the story. But gosh, this is the longest live I've ever done. And I'm super proud of that. I'm super proud. And I'm happy because I'm ready to get on these lives, talk about what I'm talking about, and then have a discussion and kind of go into other things afterwards. So the fact that this has happened in the toroidal field, I'm excited because it's part of what I am attracting, and I'm just ready for more. And you go can chat. Mama can chat, so I can talk for a while when conversation comes up. So yeah, I'm going to edit it tonight, so it's most likely it's not too long to edit it. What's the time? Oh gosh. It's 10 to 12. It's 10 to midnight. Um yeah, as soon as I get off this, I'm going to just attempt to timestamp it, put all the information down below, start editing the video. It's not going to be up obviously tonight, but I will most likely upload it because it will be finished by the time I edit it. It most likely will be uploaded after my Crypto Angles podcast is uploaded. Excuse me. So that's aiming to come out, confirmation burp, in the morning, and then that will be uploaded. But I will do it because it is interesting. It is interesting. And we'll definitely do another one when it's officially in Taurus in 2025. And that will just be there then. But we're getting a little taster of it now. Check out the Jupiter. Check out I've done Saturn in Aquarius to check that out because it's still up until 2025. Check out my Waters Above special, especially if you're into crypto. Check that out. And also the Jupiter as well. But yeah, I'm gonna do that. We've been chatting for 2.5 hours. This is amazing. This is a milestone for me. But I've been chatting, chatting, chatting. To summarize, make sure you trust yourself. Pay attention to your thoughts, what's being attracted in your new toroidal field, because whatever you're thinking about and give and exchange your energy to is what you find valuable. Jupiter's going to get ready to expand that, and Uranus is going to get ready to create that electric change. And of course, you're the motherfucking star and the magician. So trust yourself. And with that being said, make sure you do grab the calendar if you'd like to support. There is a discount and everything. No, don't apologize. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is thank you in sign language, by the way. I'll try and teach my children like basic sign. But yeah, thank you, because I like conversation, like comments and everything to talk upon and to just delve into different areas. So thank you. May I create much more of that in the future. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for the Crypto Angles podcast, and the Uranus video will definitely be out. And yeah, but thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. Obviously grab the calendar, there's a discount if you'd like. And there's readings available if you'd like as well. And definitely, if you don't want any of that, just check out your placements yourself and see what it's like for you. But thank you. I will see you in tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for joining me. And with that being said, Angel out. Bye. Bye.